I'd been crossing Texas pretty much all day, cutting through the stretch of backcountry highway where the land flattens out and doesn't really ever stand back up. No other towns, no exits, just roads, scrub, and butt ugly country. You could see 10 or 15 miles straight ahead without a single bend. And then out of nowhere, my car started jerking. A hard pull to the right, steering going loose for a second, my dashboard lighting up. I eased off the gas and then coasted to the shoulder. By the time I stopped, the tire was completely gone, flapping rubber against the asphalt. I stepped out and felt that heat roll up off the road that was very unforgiving. The tire was shredded down to the rim, but worse than that, there was fluid coming out from beneath my car. Anxiety quickly came to life inside of me. I popped the hood and immediately backed off. Steam hissed up at me in these short bursts. The smell was that of cooking oil. I let the air out and grabbed my phone. No signal, of course. I walked up the shoulder, then back the other way, holding up my phone just out of habit. I'm not even sure that works anymore. Still nothing. I looked down at the highway in both directions. Empty. Nothing was looking good for me in the moment. I checked the trunk. No spare, which made me furious. Just a jack, a tire iron, and a bag of stuff that I did not need right now. The engine was ticking close by as it cooled off, and somewhere out in the brush, insects were clicking in these eerie bursts, cicadas or whatever the hell they're called. The sun was dropping, taking the heat with it, but leaving everything out in this washed out light. I sat on the guardrail and took stock. I had some water, a couple of protein bars, and a jacket, enough to get me through the night if I had to. And that's when it all really hit me. I wasn't going to get help anytime soon, and if somebody did come along, it would be the only car I'd probably see for hours. I looked down the road in front of me and tried to not trip out. I stayed with the car because there wasn't anywhere else really to go. I'm in the middle of nowhere. The heat started to bleed out of the ground once the sun was dropping. The sky went dark, and every few minutes I waved my phone light down the highway, more out of habit than hope. I really, genuinely have never felt alone like that. Then in the distance I heard an engine, loud, rough, and struggling. No muffler. It was sounding like a chariot from heaven in my ears in the moment though. Headlights then appeared far off, growing faster. I could see it in the fading sunlight. It was a black van, lifted, riding on thick off-road tires. The windshield was dark enough that I couldn't even see the driver at all. I stepped close to the shoulder and waved my light. The van slowed once it was actually within range of me. Salvation. I found a spot on the shoulder just behind my car. The engine stayed running, and after a beat, the driver's door opened and a guy hopped down. He seemed to be in his mid-20s, thin and wired. Sunglasses still on, even in the near dark. A bandana loose around his neck, cigarette burning in his hand. He looked around with a smile. Hell of a place to get stuck, huh? Yeah, I said. I blew a tire, no service. Just my luck. He chuckled, then turned into a slow circle, taking in the road, the brush, the dark. No service, huh? He said again. That's real bad luck. This started to sound like a catchphrase at this point. Well, good thing I came along, he added. Let's see what you did. He crouched by the wheel, pulled out a flashlight that was unbearably bright. The beam snapped on and brought shadows to life all around us, and he whistled. Whew, you picked up a big knuckle of metal. He then angled the flashlight. A long, jagged strip of steel was wedged into the wheel well, bent and chewed up to hell. That'll stop any rig. I glanced over at him. You think that came off something? He shrugged at me. Out here, it could be anything. Maybe it bounced off a trailer that had just been tumbling down the highway. He helped me jack the car up. His van's headlights flooded the scene, washing everything else out past the shoulder, and the highway behind us quickly vanished into complete blackness. We played with the lugs for a while. He tugged on the ruined tire with a grunt. Something's catching in the back. The lugs are clear, so I don't know what it is. I can't see it. What do you need? I asked him, and he looked over at me for a second, and I mean really looked, then smiled. Oh, I'm gonna need you under there, he said. Just tell me what's hanging it up. I hesitated. The jack creaked slightly under the weight of the car. It's just for a second, he said. I'll be right here. I didn't want to crawl under my car at night with a stranger standing over me, but I wanted to be off that road more than anything else. I just had to press myself against it for just a second. "All right," I said. "Let me use your flashlight." He lifted it slightly. "This one? I'll angle it around. I'll hold it for you." I nodded back. So I got on my back and slid under the car. The ground around me was cold and smelled like burnt oil. I squinted, trying to make sense of all the shapes in the dark, and there was nothing out of place to my eye, at least. "I still can't see much," I said to him. "Can you angle that flashlight a little better? This one?" Then the light exploded, white hot. It almost made me nauseous. My body locked up, every muscle clenched, my jaw snapped shut so hard I thought I broke my teeth. God knows how many thousands of lumens cold clocked me out of nowhere and sent me into this lizard brain mode. It was like he tasered my eyes. And somewhere above me, the metal shifted and the car rocked. Panic then shot through me. I twisted and rolled, pulling myself sideways as the car tipped. And then it slammed down right where I'd been. The jack snapping loose, the frame smashing into the asphalt. I watched my exposed frame leave a dent half an inch deep. I scrambled backward. What the fuck just happened? The guy shoved the car again, trying to roll it further. Was this his plan all along? When he saw me upright, his face went flat. "Hey," he said quickly. "Easy, that was an accident." But I ran. I bolted straight off the shoulder into the desert, crashing through the brush and loose rock. "Hey, you okay? It was an accident." I dropped behind a low rise and just stayed there, crouched, watching through the brush. I knew I was safe out here in the dark, at least for the moment. He paced along the road with the flashlight, sweeping the beam back and forth, breathing hard, nervous. He kept talking, saying accident over and over again, like he's trying to convince some kind of lawyer in front of him. I'm not moving. I'm not going to let this asshole have any satisfaction whatsoever. After a while, he just stopped. I heard a door slam, then the van's engine revved up. Headlights swung across the shoulder once, looped, then disappeared. I stayed hidden long enough for that sound to fade, waiting for silence to swallow everything up in the world. I stayed in the brush for a couple of hours. I couldn't trust that he was really gone. When I walked back to the car, the road was now empty. No headlights, no engine noise, just my car that still was wounded on the shoulder. I got inside, locked the doors, and just waited. I didn't turn anything on. I just watched the road and listened, ready to run again if I needed to. I figured I'd be able to hear him just like before. But he didn't come back. Morning came and I was in disbelief. The desert was normal, and a patrol car pulled over a little after sunrise. The trooper took one look at my car and nodded. "Let me guess, you had a real bad night." I told him what happened, kept it simple. Flat tire, van, guy with the flashlight. The more I thought about it, the more I think he actually hit me with the stun gun after he flashed me. Then the car coming off the jack. When I described the van, he stopped riding and stepped away to make a call. "You're not the first person to mention that vehicle to me." A tow truck came, and while they loaded up the car, the trooper walked around the shoulder, found the piece of metal from the wheel well, bagged it, and took a few photos. And that evening, he gave me a call. They picked the guy up outside a small town where I broke down. Same van, same setup. Inside, they found equipment that matched everything that I ascribed to them, along with evidence tying him to several roadside deaths over the last few years. Breakdown after breakdown that oddly resulted in these bizarre and mysterious deaths over the past few years that remained a mystery. The trooper didn't go into more details because the investigation was ongoing. I travel much differently now. Almost being killed in the middle of nowhere turned out to be far more nightmarish than I ever would have expected, and being left and crushed slowly to death by my own car to boot. To hell with all that. I stay strapped and keep a spare tire. I don't take bullshit back roads, and if I do, I've got a map and a line directly to civilization. Fool me once,